she and another woman ventured into one particular room, and between her and her friend, this large shadow loomed up. She described it as about 6'5", 6'6" in height, but again, very, very dark in nature, so there was no detail. At one point, she thought it had completely engulfed her friend, and they ended up screaming and running out of the room. Now, this woman, a few minutes later, after they collected themselves, walked back over to the hall, and there stood again this very tall, dark shadow. But it started doing something very unusual. There was this pulsating energy that was emanating forth from it, like a whoop, 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 and she could hear it as well as feel it. In many cases, people feel a certain energy projecting out from these beings. And in this particular woman's case, it was this pulsating type energy. With other people, it may be more constant. So people are experiencing different types of energy from these beings, but with each of them, energy nonetheless.
I have interviewed people who have encountered shadow beings and they've heard what sounded like electricity buzzing. And the sound would disappear when the shadow people left the room.
There was another woman I interviewed who saw a flash of light out in her hallway, and all of a sudden this shadow man ran into her room, jumped on top of her, and pressed her down into the bed. And the shadow man jumped back off, ran back out into the hallway, and she saw another flash of light. The next morning when she woke up, she noticed that all the electronics in that room had been absolutely fried, and she had to call the fire department for them to come and inspect everything.
In addition to hearing and feeling surges of energy, witnesses often report another curious detail about the shadow people: the appearance of glowing eyes.
A lot of the shadow people have no facial features whatsoever, just blackness. But some do have glowing eyes, and in particular, it's the one with the red glowing eyes that appear to be the most malevolent.
When it comes to shadow beings with eyes, especially blazing red eyes, people also experience a fear that is deeper than just, there's an entity in my room. And they feel that these entities are up to nefarious means.
So many reports of shadow encounters are associated with pulsating energy, glowing eyes, and electronic disturbances that researchers wonder if some shadow entities might actually be misunderstood technology.
It's often discussed that powerful alien technology can influence human electronics and technology. This is definitely something that is reported with the shadow people experiences.
There's also an interesting idea in which these extraterrestrials may be using some sort of cloaking device to hide themselves from our view. But since they may not quite understand the physiology of our eyes, it comes off more of like a shadow. So what we may be seeing is an imperfect type of alien technology.
I've interviewed two different people who have described to me what sounds like it could be some sort of cloaking technology. One person in particular said that he saw a cloak open and saw beyond the disguise, and what he saw, he said, was reptilian scales. I spoke with someone else who saw something similar, but described the skin as more like slick, like a frog's, but gray.
Could it be that we're not talking about shadow people, but some type of a technology that appeared like a shadow? And it may be, sometime a technology did not work. It would reveal that person underneath the cloak or underneath the device, and so they would be seen for maybe a fraction of a second.
Shadow people using numerology equals 62 in Chaldean, the oldest cipher, matching dimethyltryptamine. And in the full episode that they did on Ancient Aliens, they talk about the shadow people, and you heard they said it might have been technology from the reptilians, interdimensional entities, and that people that take DMT are able to see these entities. So I found that really interesting. A shadow person, also known as a shadow figure, shadow beings in the perception of a patch of shadow as a living humanoid figure, particularly as interpreted by believers in the paranormal or supernatural as the presence of a spirit or other entity.
I felt every inch of my body on the bed, and I felt every inch of everything that was touching me. And then I felt this presence, and I didn't know whether it was over me, beside me, or anything. I just felt this presence. And then I felt like the breath was getting sucked out of me. Like no matter how hard I tried to inhale and breathe, I couldn't. And then finally I snap out of it and I wake up and I sit up really fast and I look to the left of me, and then all of a sudden, like, I just see this shadow figure. And it wasn't a tall one. It didn't look human. It didn't look like anything. It just looked like a shadow, and it was maybe, I don't know, off my bed's like here, and it was maybe this high off my bed. And it was just like this oval shadow type thing.
Some type of energy that shows up. With sleep paralysis, we experience this.
I tried to fight it. I was like, okay, I'm not going to go up the stairs. I'm just going to fight it.
What the hell was that? No, but your fucking fridge is shutting all by itself. No, like it was closing as I came out here.
It was closed? I locked the door, right?
Yeah, you locked the door when we got back from Publix. No, the cabinets, it sounded like a cabinet door slammed, and then I come out and your fridge door is shutting as I'm coming out. You didn't see that? And your dogs are freaking out. I'm really freaked out right now. That was clearly your kitchen, and then your fucking door's shutting. Look, I'll fucking put it up on the computer and you can look at it. Seriously? No, oh my god, here, it's seriously just
Somebody in there?
No, find one. Find something. If somebody's in there, they need to come out. Yeah, we need to get the fuck out of here.
Seriously, oh my god.
Yeah, we need to get the fuck out of here.
Seriously, oh my god.
Oh my god, it was right there. Oh boy.